Hello, friends and teacher. My name is Shawn from class 9G. Now to presentate my presentation about gender equality. What is my topic outline? So the first topic outline is about ppkn explanation, the second is BS explanation, and the third is prakarya explanation. So for this ppkn subject is, what is my topic? My topic is about problems experienced by women and carried out by men who have already happened, or I can say KDRT in English is domestic violence. So now I want to tell you about gender equality. So what is gender issue or gender equality? Gender issue are problems caused by gender gaps or disparities which have implication for discrimination against one party, woman or man. Interpreting the effects of diversity in Indonesia. So the first problem is Lesti and Rizky Bilar, domestic violence problem. The second is Nindi Ayunda, domestic violence problem. The third is Manohara, domestic violence problem. So now I want to tell you the definition of gender equality to domestic violence problem that happened to an artist. Lesti and Rizky Bilar. So the problem of domestic violence against Lesti Kejora and Rizky Bilar brought them to the police in Metro Jakarta on Tuesday at 20:25 Western Indonesian time in evening. When they went to the police station, they could be seen wearing black masks and Rizky wearing black hats too. The two were accompanied by legal counsel Sandi Arifin, Hotma Sitompo, and Filippo Sitepu, headed to the South Jakarta Metro Police. Rizky Bilar and Lesti Kejora had to go to the police station because Rizky had committed household violence against Lesti Kejora many times, not just once. Rizky Bilar has violated the law a lot. One of them is marriage law because after Rizky Bilar and Lesti Kejora were married, Rizky started committing violence against Lesti, domestic violence. Rizky Bilar was detained at the South Jakarta Metro Police after becoming a suspect in a domestic violence case and being detained. Lesti Kejora experienced a case of violence on September 28, 2022 at 1:51 Western Indonesian time in the morning at her second residence in Cilandak, South Jakarta. At the time, Rizky committed physical violence by pushing and slamming the victim onto the bed and choking the victim's neck so that he fell to the floor. The domestic violence was repeated again at 9:47 Western Indonesian time. At the time, Rizky put the victim's hand towards the bedroom, then slammed the victim to the floor and do it repeatedly. As a result of this incident, Lesti reported to the police station. Lesti also have to undergo medical treatment at the hospital due to her injuries. The second problem is by Nindi Ayunda. The second domestic violence problem was experienced by Nindi Ayunda and Askara Parasadi. During the trial, the panel of judges found Askara guilty. Because of the domestic violence case, the court said on trial declared Askara Parasadi Horsono legally proven to have committed the crime of domestic violence or KDRT on purpose which Anindia or Nindi experienced, said the judge. In a hearing at the South Jakarta District Court, Askara also committed domestic violence against Nindi Ayunda on purpose. And because of that problem, Askara was jailed for 9 months and had to pay a fine of 10 million rupiah. Summarize the positive and negative impact of diversity in Indonesia. So the negative is, the third is Manohara. The domestic violence problem experienced by a model named Manohara. Manohara was born in Jakarta on February 28, 1992. At a young age, her career as a model was fairly smooth. Not only a model, Manohara has also started in a number of soaps and films. Manohara has a husband named Tengku Fakri and they married in 2008, August 26, in Malaysia when Manohara was 16 years old. The two met in France in December 2006 at a dinner hosted by the Deputy Prime Minister of Malaysia. After they got married, people would think that their marriage and life would be happy. Apparently the opposite. After 2 months, Manohara returned to Jakarta and don't want to go back to Malaysia because she experienced domestic violence. She was burned by cigarettes, slashed and neck iron, and forced to have sex while menstruation. Negative impact result in disharmony and even the destruction of the summarize the positive and negative impact of diversity in Indonesian. So the negative is, well, negative impact result in disharmony and even the destruction of a country. So the positive is provide benefit of development and progress. My opinion for gender equality problems like domestic violence or KDRT. My opinion on gender equality and gender violence such as domestic violence is not appropriate because things like this are very illegal for citizens and society. Because of the violence like this, humans who are affected or who are bound by domestic violence problem will feel pain and torment. So in my opinion, the government must act decisively and order community police to be more assertive towards people who commit domestic violence. So what happen if this domestic violence action happen in my neighborhood? If it happen in my neighborhood, I will go to the nearest police station and inform the case of domestic violence. What will I do if I'm the one who is in the situation and being the one who is being punched at? If I'm in the situation of that, I will threaten him or her to the police. What are the things that the neighbors should do if there is a situation of domestic violence in the neighborhood? If a person had that kind of situation in the neighborhood, uh, the neighborhood or the neighbors should help the person or call the police to inform the act quickly. Equality of man and woman according to biblical teaching. Gender equality between men and women, in my opinion, each has its own purpose, so we don't have to blame each other and every human being must be treated fairly. Even though women always get defended and men are always wrong, according to the Bible or Christian teaching, gender equality means that the two sexes are meant by divine design to be different and complement each other. Each has the same dignity and is created in the image of God, which is also countercultural concept. A verse that contain domestic violence or an explanation of why we are not allowed to do the domestic violence. This is the verse, all four of these. So this is the prakarya chart for domestic violence. As you can see, I already built the chart and the number of domestic violence. Thank you for listening. Don't hesitate to ask any question. Thank you for listening my presentation.